All right. You know what time it is? It is that last minute post before the day one raid of Destiny 2 comes out. And today I got my builds all sorted out. And to no shocker, I'm kind of only bringing 3, mostly because I'm playing Titan. I ain't doing Warlock or Hunter, mostly because I didn't have enough time to do Warlock, though I mostly got all my Warlock mains on lock for what they need to be using. If not, whatever. We got 3 of those. We got 2 Titans and 1 Hunter. Depending if I have enough time before the raid drops, I could hop on my Warlock, but this is mostly going to be Titan. So if you get a Titan main, this is probably what I'm rocking. So starting off with, we're going with Prismatic. And what I'm using with Prismatic, this is my kind of roamer build. I got Inmost Light and Symphoseps. And pretty much what I'm rocking is, Thunder Trash, Protection for that increased DR, Courage for increased damage for my Thunder Crash and my abilities, Radiant so I can stay up on the artifact and just have an increased damage output, and then Balance so when I do my consecrations, I'm kind of just feeding into my loop. This is the loadout I'm kind of going in with, I kind of grinded this machine gun out. I like this one. It could be better. I'm gonna put in Go Reliable Sunshot and of course Lost Signal. So there's that. Pretty much I just try to focus on my melee and my super and try to supplement the weapons, of course. And this is so I can get through anything. It's super strong. This is pretty much what I ran in the Legend campaign and a lot of other content so far. And it's not bad. It genuinely is pretty good. I think it's a solid pick. I think many Titan mains going in that are got a couple day ones under their belt contests, Prismatic is perfect. And then for DPS I have my Curious, a little bit more in the super. I kind of have slots open, so then whatever we're using, I'll get into the weapon portion here in a bit, but I'm just kind of showing off what I'm using. My other subclass I'll be using is Arc with Cresta Lupe with Bolt Charge. I got that resistance for that increased DR when I'm surrounded. I got Shock for Jolt on my grenade because I'm using Pulse Nade. I'm using Frequency so I can kind of have a faster reload. And usually when I'm going to have when I'm amplified, I'm going to get increased gains on my Bolt Charge. So pretty much that feeds into just getting more. And then rapidly defeating targets while you're amplified helps out just trying to keep that gameplay loop going for my super and for my barricade. Same premise with weapons. This is kind of just my go-to, just if I need ad clear. And these are the mods I'm rocking. Resistances, obviously you can do whatever you like. Scavengers, whatever, I haven't really touched onto this, but the whole premise is to kind of just build into just your barricade and just kind of have that, lockdown on things. So Cresta Lupe is really good on the healing factor for just ad clear and everything if you want to play with the team. Obviously, for DPS, we're gonna do Crest of the Falling Star. That's easy, that's kind of understandable. And then just cause of the artifact, we have Radiant Splendor, we have Colorized Darkness, and then we have Fever and Chill. I just kind of build into all of that. I will be using the new exotic Malice Penobla. I don't know how to say it, but it's actually kind of nice. I like the recall. It has a snowball effect to it. So if that is a turnoff for you, probably just best to go with Symphoseps or Worm God Crest. But I'm kind of vibe with it because I'm more not trying to get in your face with it so much, because once I kind of have Roaring Flames built up a little bit more, it's a little bit easier. Plus also I have a 1-2 punch shotgun, kind of going to follow with that. For DPS, we're going for a Pyrogale setup, and I'm not if anyone thinking that, oh, you know, you can't pop your thing and put on Pyrogale, and like, that's not the deal. Pretty much what I'm doing is I swap to this, which then will have my surges, plop it down my Pyrogale, and, you know, do damage. That's pretty much the whole loadout portion. But if you really want to know, this is what I'm walking into day one with, was Prismatic. The other two are more of just, it depends. Bolt Charge is more of really what I'm going to fall back to if we need more Bolt Charge, or if we really don't need Prismatic. But that is the loadouts. Now going in for weapons, a lot of Signal, just like Wither Horde. I decided against putting on Wither Horde myself, because we already have a teammate that is running Wither Horde, or another teammate running Wither Horde. There is so much you can have with Wither Horde on the team. I have also Tenashas. This will also be kind of helping out with doing my darkness for Prismatic, though it also helps my other team, the rest of people in my team that also on Prismatic, to kind of get buffs for their courage. Multi-Mac with the Attrition Orbs, Connect Tremors. Obviously, it's a go-to just for, you know, good orb generation, good or reliable Midnight Coup. This is just, you know, a good hand cannon. You know, if you got a Fate Bringer, use that. Then I got my Prey's Revenge for my DPS rotation with Kinetic Tremors and Bait and Switch. You know, you could do Rewoo Bait and Switch or anything else. I just went with that, just full on just damage. I have my Mountaintop here for damage and movement. So when we are traversing anything, just like getting to the next encounter, pretty much this will be that. Though I do have the Arc version, which I do enjoy. So if I say I want to have this and then maybe rock double special of, like, you know, Tenashas, or I want to rock a 1-2 punch, you know, or I have to wear a sniper, or I don't have it with me, or I run Euphony with this, and then I have my Eater Sword or a rocket machine gun. And so that's pretty much the primary slot. You know, I might have Euphony in here just because Euphony is really solid. Sunshot, it's just good or reliable, though. We have been talking about using, I just passed it, Graviton Lance. So I would say definitely Graviton Lance is probably one to pick. I might bring that into the raid with me just because it's not bad. I kind of enjoy Graviton Lance, and if you don't know what that does, you know, it just kills, multi kills. And I believe the Catalyst does give it a Vorpal, so it's not too bad. Whereas Lance is not too bad. Definitely a you know, a pick as well. That's kind of like for primaries going in with. For exotic wise, I got my Ergo Sum with also I don't have my Gold Tusk, but there's Ergo Sum Gold Tusk. I got Wolfpack rounds on mine, and I have a perfect fifth one just in case, like, say someone else wants to do Ergo Sum damage. I can swap to that. Lord Wolves, good or reliable. There is a DPS rotation me and my clan are working on, or have been playing with, the idea of a grenade launcher meta. Mostly just for just a good dump, like fast dump. Though we do have Hesitant Vengeance just in case of that. Probably I'll show the rotation in the clip, what's going on, just for a demonstration. But yeah, there's that. I'm bringing in Velocity Baton, though they did nerf the orb generation on it. I still think it's going to be pretty good just because. So, you know, if I want to rock that, rock Midnight Coupe, and then say I want to rock Grand Overture, you know, a galley, or I want to rock just my machine gun, and then say I bring over Kvastov here, or bring on my borrowed dyad. It's kind of solid. And then Xyle's Bane. It's just, you know, again, good old reliable hand cannon. Yes, I am crutched on the Sunshot, and yes, I probably can never take it off, but hey, you know, do whatever you feel comfortable with. I am willing to change probably during the raid if we ever come to a roadblock. I'm not seeing any benefits of me running certain things. So there's that. And then for the heavy, as you can see, it's very congested here. And after we've done a lot of just, you know, sitting down and saying, all right, what's going to be good? The machine gun, I get it. No one really cares about this origin trait, but the real reason why I wanted it is because when you go here, as you can see, my power has a 4.0 damage increase because of it being a featured weapon. And since I have 98, that'd be 14 plus 7, 14.7. And then I have a font mod putting 30 in there. So that's giving it about, just, you know, 90 plus 30. That's like 120, 128, something like that. Don't quote me on that. I'm bad at math. I'm a Titan main. But you know, that's giving my heavy some extra oomph. Then of course it has headstone and killing tally, just so it can kind of have that good, you know, add clear potential for it, mostly for chunky targets and add crowd control. Grand Overture, good old reliable again. This is for Vesper's host when you know, did the build charge and everything. It's still good even without that. Good bursts and good kind of like, I would say it's good chunk on health. So there's that. Obviously Gallahorn for add clear and has some vengeance swap. So say if someone else is not doing too well on galley, or someone has a complex job to where they can't do galley, I usually do that. This is my chill inhibitor 3.0 that I go grinded out during the encore. The best thing about this is that it has exhaustion, which, if we all know, that reduces the damage output. So me and my team are thinking of either making sure everyone has this, or at least one person is rocking this, and we might do GL DPS more than rocket DPS, but that is there just in case. We got good old reliable Anarchy. This thing came in clutch for a lock set, so pretty much what the loadout was almost for a lock set was almost like this, though I have a rocket sidearm. Sadly, I do not have my rocket sidearm on me right now, but you can see the dream. Another good old reliable is Queen Breaker. This thing, we tested it out. It's still a viable option if the target is the boss has a damage multiplier and an easy hit crit. We do have a designated div user if need to. If the target's like too swaying and the crit is just not worth hitting. So there's that. Of course, nothing could go wrong with a good old tractor cannon. Good old tractor cannon. And of course, we got our Eager Edge for movement. And that is pretty much it. Like I said, other things that if you do have would be kind of nice. I am bringing in Euphony. That is definitely an exotic I'm definitely bringing in. If you don't have Euphony, Arbalest is not a bad option. Really good for anti-barrier and other kind of like, it's good for damage rotation. If you did get the catalyst and it completed it, well, where is it? I just looked over it. New Land Beyond, if you did get the catalyst for it, it's actually pretty solid. It's good for, like, I would say roaming and like prepping for DPS if you're doing that. I will not be bringing this in, mostly because Euphony is, I would say, in my eyes, better, though I do have a No Land ready to go to grab if I have to. Since Outbreak Perfected is not able to be brung into day one, we are just kind of like winging it. Like we have Polaris Lance just in case. And that's pretty much it. Microcosm also is kind of a good pick. Lithium is also a pretty good pick for ammo generation. We do have a Zenithal Warlock, which is also a div. Risk Runner's a really good solid pick if you wanted that for damage reduction. Like good DR, though I don't know if there's going to be arc in the raid. Terraba's pretty good as well. That also might be a better pick over Risk Runner, just because of the build and everything. Le Monarch's pretty solid too, mostly that's for Bolt Charge Titans, and Devil's Ruin is also pretty good. Other than that, anything that's like a raid specific or raid locked or dungeon locked, if you don't have it, don't sweat about it. There's always going to be something that's going to help out. But yeah, this is my day one loadouts, and I hope everyone has a good time and get some good clears. Later.